Guys, let me know where you're tapping in from. Let me know if the audio sounds a bit different today. I told you yesterday I got a new device, got the new Apple iPad for streaming. I got a microphone because you guys asked for it. So as you're checking in, let me know what's up. We had, I told you guys, mate, Japan, domestic card, don't go heavy. The Africa card was yesterday. That was hard to watch. I didn't break down any film. I mean, I didn't post any stats and live videos on the Brandon Glanton fight. My instinct was Glanton, and then I got talked out of it. So just to be 100% transparent with you guys, I didn't bet on Glanton. I went the other way and lost. But I didn't post those bets just because I didn't go heavy on it. You know what I mean? I wasn't too excited about it. As the boys are tapping in, what's up, DJ? What's up, Julius? Tyler? Yeah, well, let's touch base real quick on Glanton and Brown. It was the pace. It was how the fight was fought. You know what I mean? This is Brandon Glanton. This is who he is. This is something that we knew going into the fight. Would Brown be able to handle that pace, fight on the inside the entire time? You know, Brown wanted to make it clean. He wanted to make it a pretty fight. He had the better, the classier boxing skills. But with a dog like Brandon Glanton, man, you just have to be prepared to go to war. So that's how it played out. Did he quit? Yeah, he didn't want any more of that, man. You gotta to beat a guy like Brandon Glanton, and this is why I think Chris Billum-Smith should get more props. Chris Billum-Smith, he fought Glanton's fight, and he was more durable, and he was just better on that night. Sometimes you fight guys who are just better than you. Thank God that card's over. That card was hard to watch, man. Like, the Africa cards, hopefully, you know, Amir Khan gets his shit together. I mean, do we really want to go back? Do you want to go back to Africa? What was that, like 5% capacity? You know what I'm saying? Like, so when you guys are looking at, you were watching that fight and seeing sort of clips of the entire crowd, it was far from packed. It barely looked packed on the ground level. I don't know. Maybe Amir Khan's getting a lot of paper to go there. Who knows? There's a card in Pakistan in a couple weeks. One of the guys I follow out of Philly, Pete Dobson, and it just made me think too, man. No shade on Africa, no shade on Pakistan. I know you know the globalization of boxing, but it's just like, I don't know. It's for fans, for guys like us who watch the sport. You know, production matters. You know what I'm saying? So it just had me thinking, like, the quality, the importance of production matters. And I'll just leave it at that. So we're going to go to, let's pull out I'm going to talk about the Nathaniel Collins card real quick, and then I'll get you guys' opinion on that. I woke up this morning with a lot more odds. So it's Friday morning, my time. It's 8 a.m. I might go live one more time today. We'll see. It's not the busiest of weeks, guys. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go over what I got on my list, on my phone. I might just start doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because I still don't. I spent like 2 hours yesterday trying to figure out how to share screen. I don't know how to do all this technology stuff. So right now on the sports betting app, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 15 fights. I do have an 8-leg money line parlay that I'll give you guys that I'll put up in the Discord. If you guys haven't joined the Discord, guys, that link is pinned in the comment section below. It's a couple bucks a month. You get more accessibility on YouTube, more accessibility to myself on other social media channels, and you get to become members of our Discord. Guys, let me know if the audio sounds different. As you guys are saying what's up. Does the audio sound any different to you guys from yesterday? Yesterday I was just live streaming with the new iPad, and it was sounding echoey. And then I went to the tech store and got this little bad boy, which plugs in. So let me know if you could hear any quality. Hopefully the quality is better on the audio side. Let me know. So I'm going to put together this long parlay real quick, and then I'll post it. I'm going to take Barrera. I'm going to take Sandoval. I'm going to take Zambekov, Iwata. I'm partially wanting to bet on, this is just the long parlay, by the way, guys. Put 10, 25 bucks on it. The iPhone sounds way better than what you have now. No shit. Okay, so This is actually a mic. This doesn't sound better than yesterday. Insane. Maybe this was a waste of money. JBL is supposed to be pretty legit too, and the guy said that the microphone on the iPad is the way to go with live streaming. It sounds not good. No shit. So let me take it off then. So it sounds... Does this sound better with no mic? Let me shut this off. It seems kind of shallow, the sound. Interesting. So now what does this sound like? Does the no mic sound better than the mic? This is interesting. Maybe this was a waste. I'm interested in maybe your settings with the mic. Okay. But does the no mic sound worse than the mic? Let me know what you think. Yeah, I'm not, obviously you guys know me. I'm not technologically sound. I don't know what the hell I'm doing with this sort of stuff. But maybe I'm missing sort of an add-on. But anyway, so what sounds better, this or no mic? Let me know. And maybe your settings with the mic. Okay, I think it sounds better without the mic. This is more no shit. Okay, so I guess I'll just try to, I wonder if I can return this. This is insane. I thought this would be dope. I like the old audio, but the new iPad view is better. Yeah, so this, I think the mic was suppressing a lot of noise, more wide angle view. Neither of these is good. The previous one that so yeah, so what I was doing was, the mic wasn't bad. Okay. So before I'd always stream with this phone. Look how small this is. I listened to the live yesterday when you had the iPad. So this is the iPad. The screen is, this is the newest iPad. But you guys said yesterday the audio on it sucked. It do sound like some is covering your mic. This has slightly an echo. We'll see what this bad boy does. So this is the mic bit. Well, it's good to figure this shit out, right, boys? This is what we have a team for. This is what we, now this, here's the difference now. This is why we have a team, guys. This is why I like you guys. This is why you guys ask and I always do. So I'll keep trying to figure this shit out for you guys. So let me know. Johnny might get all sort of, come on. It's all good. And we on the over side of the door. We'll get to business shortly. Do I take this off or leave it on? Bring the mic a little closer to your mouth. I got a big ass head though. So this just looks ridiculous. There's no way that I'm going to be fucking talking like this. I think the mic sounds better personally as for right now, but the iPhone is obviously better overall. Okay. Okay. So, dude, if I have to, this is perfect. So I'm getting, are you guys just messing with me? When you keep it this distance, this is good. Okay, so it has to be a little bit closer. Jesus. Maybe I could just put this on a little stand right here. I don't want to be one of those weirdos holding it. You know what I mean? Like, does it sound better like this if I held it? Because then this will probably give me scoliosis. Just hold it there, bro. It's best quality. Okay, so this sounds better than before. And then we'll get down to business, boys. Because we got a lot to talk about. We got to clarify the tech side, first of all. At least you guys like the stream and it's clear. You know what I'm saying? So that's good. And also, boys, you know, if you guys ask, I'm all about fixing shit for you guys. So just let me know. I'm learning. This is still a learning process. The one thing you do know is at least I know boxing. Why don't you get a stand mic? Okay. I don't think it's bad in any way. It's just the quality. I don't think it's bad. It's just the quality. Okay, I'll have to play. I'll listen to it on the playback. I'm going to continue with this parlay real quick, and then you guys can get to your questions. On the long parlay, I'm only going to play 8 fights. They're kind of tempting us with the Stephen Collins Jr. fight. I'm not taking. When you talk into it, it sounds kind of good, but you keep talking away. Might be difficult to explain through text. Huh. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, D-Generation X proudly presents to you the WW Tag Team Champion of the World, the Road Dogg, Jesse James. Okay. All right, here we go, guys. This is a long parlay. I'm using that app. We can hear you clear either way. It's good. All right, let's get to business. These are just money lines. I also have a method of victory prop, and I also have an underdog. You guys have been messaging me all week about Nathaniel Collins and Lorente. Guys, if you want to take Lorente, take Lorente. I'm not taking Lorente. I think the same boys who are taking Lorente or the same guys who took Lee McGregor. I don't see it happening. I'm high on Nathaniel Collins. I like his chances. I like his chances at 126. Do I feel right now at 126 he could go toe-to-toe with the champions? Maybe. I mean, I'd like to see Collins versus Angelo Leo. You know, Leo's a champion. Rafa's a champion. Nick Ball and Fulton, right? Isn't Fulton the other champion? Take the DJ Green. You wild. Take it. Bro, take it. Okay, so I'm going to give you, let's see, Barrera, money line. I like Kane Sandoval, but these odds suck. I'm going to take Kane regardless. I'm going to kind of break my new rule. He's only $1.06. Umar Zambikov, $1.09. Iwata versus Edwin Kano. I'll post this in the group. I'm not playing the Steve Collins Jr. fight. Yeah, Mankey Crazy in the house. What's up, buddy? I'm a fan of, like I said, I'd like to see Queensberry. And shout out to Frank Warren. Shout out to Queensberry. I told you guys this in my breakdown. To see what Frank Warren did for one of his fighters, to watch Nathaniel Collins' performance against Lee McGregor on the undercard, and then watch Collins perform how he did, and then Frank Warren and Queensberry give Collins a homecoming and a main event, whole card built around him. That's what you want to see from a promoter. And he turned him around pretty quickly, too. Didn't really have to wait too long. So I'd like to see it. I think we're going to see another great version of Nathaniel Collins, similar to what we saw against McGregor. I think his speed, he's going to have the speed advantage, the timing advantage. I think he's the better boxer. When I watch the tape on Cristobal Lorente, I see a jab, and I see a jab that's lazy at times. I don't see a guy who likes to punch with his opponents. He will be the taller guy. He's the longer guy. But when I watch his film study, he doesn't really, like I told you in my breakdown, I want to see Lorente throw his lead hook more. I want to see Lorente punch with his opponent more. If he doesn't do that, he's not going to have a success against Nathaniel Collins. I'm going to take, dude, they're also baiting us with Cecilia Brækhus. Cecilia Brækhus is 1,000 years old. She's fighting Emma Kozin. I'm going to just play it. $25 on an 8-leg. Let's get this money, boys. Aston Brown. Regan Glacken, 50-50. Did anybody do tape on Regan Glacken and Louis O'Doherty? I didn't do tape on this, so I'm being real with you guys. If anybody could kind of chime in and tell me what you see in Regan Glacken versus Louis O'Doherty, I'm not going to throw these guys on my parlay. But, I got about 48 hours. I actually might tape both of these guys because the odds are pretty good. And then, obviously, I broke down Hutch. I got Hutchinson to beat Jeffers, and I got Collins. So this is an 8-legger. This 8-legger pays $3.23, so a little bit over 2-to-1 money. And this is what we got. So we're getting at $3.23. $100 gets you your money back plus 223. We got Barrera, Sandoval, Zambikov, Iwata, Brækhus, Brown, Hutchinson, Collins. Now, this is going to be my moneyline long parlay. I'm going to post this on all the socials. Everyone on YouTube will get this, Instagram and Discord. But moving forward, there's a couple method of victories that I think have great odds. I think some of you guys talked about it. Hutchinson versus Jeffers. Neither guys have knockout power, but you guys, Jeffers is the one coming up from a lower division, if you put any relevance into that. Both guys have kind of been, neither guy has fought recently, which kind of to me screams a decision to be honest with you. Like the value on Hutchinson is $1.31 on the money line. I mean, I could see Willie Hutchinson outpointing Jeffers 183. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. I guess the mic will still talk. What's up, buddy? Yeah. Have it. I'm just doing a live stream. You're here early.
Yeah.
Good boy. It's all good, man. It's open in there for you. Yep. Your day going all good?
Yeah, man.
All right.
Well, I'm here early, so it's cruising.
All right, good, brother. I'll see you. Let me know if you need anything. All right, boys. So where was I? So we got Willie Hutchinson. So Julia says, can Hutchinson stop Jeffers? I mean, he's the bigger guy. When you watch his tape, neither guy is really going to jump off the paper in terms of like, I think the question is Willie Hutchinson world level? You know what I mean? Because if you feel that Willie Hutchinson is a world-class fighter, he should be able to stop Mark Jeffers, considering Jeffers is coming off a loss. He's the guy who's, coming up a division. I'm not going to jump on that method of victory just yet, but I'll let you guys know probably in the next 12 hours, so just check the Discord for that. And then the next one, this is the one I really like, and I know a lot of the boys have been messaging me, Nathaniel Collins versus Lorente. You're looking at Nathaniel Collins, right? He doesn't have a high knockout to win ratio, but he is coming off that Lee McGregor knockout, and he's fighting a tall Spanish guy, doesn't like to fight in the pocket. Lorente, I feel Lorente's power isn't going to be enough to keep Collins off of him. And like I said, when you look at his offensive artillery, he usually just utilizes his jab, which he doesn't really extend it a lot. He doesn't throw his hook enough. He doesn't throw his backhand. I mean, I like Collins on the money line as a lock, but you give me him at plus 345 to beat Lorente by stoppage in Scotland, his first sort of main event built around him, his career trajectory, where he's trending. I like that a lot at plus 345. So I'm about 90% sure I'm going to post that in the Discord as my prop of the week. What do you guys feel about that? Manny, can we talk the UFC card? More action that side. PFL, Usman Nurmagomedov versus Paul Hughes. That's a good fight. Is that on tomorrow? So we're about 20 minutes into the live. I'm going to keep it on boxing for at least the next 10 minutes, and then I'll touch base, Manny, on the UFC and MMA. Will says plus 340. Yeah. So Will, I'll show you. So on Will, are you in Australia? The money line, the books here in Australia have the method of victory for Collins. Here, I'll show it to you. Right here. So if you could see that on the screen, Collins by stoppage, 345. Meaning that if you put 100 on him to win by stoppage, you get your money back plus 245 bucks. So not quite 3-1, but you're getting a nice return at plus, I guess the Americans would say that's a plus 245. Here in Australia, the way the odds makers have it, they use the dollar sign, so $3.45. I always just use denominations of 100 to keep it simple. So I like that on its own. We hit Collins versus McGregor last fight. On the money line, it was a 50-50, but we took Collins to win by stoppage, and we got him at plus 550, which was a steal, I thought. And it has nothing to do with Collins being a knockout artist, like I said. The difference is McGregor was more of a front foot fighter, and he did give Collins the fight that he wanted, opportunity to counter him and fight him in the pocket. We'll see how long. I totally expect Cristobal Lorente to use more of the ring, and we'll see Nathaniel Collins, his offense on the front foot. Will is in Boston. Yeah, so Will, if you're in Boston, I'm not sure the legislation in Massachusetts, what sort of online, if you guys, because I know some of the boys, one of the boys who's a big bettor here from New Hampshire, he has to go to the casino to make his bets. Do they allow you to do online betting on your apps here? Let me know. In Massachusetts. Salvador Pineda says Muscles on Gary's channel was saying Hutchins hasn't been training. Guys, to answer Salvador's question here, whenever we get sort of quote unquote insider information, you got to do your own research, man. And you're betting your hard-earned money. If you're gonna take money that you work for, I would really kind of do your own research rather than. And Muscles is my friend, so I'm not shading Muscles. But when I hear stories that he says that Hutchins hasn't been training, I mean, What does that sound like to you? Do you really think these guys who are prize fighters, who are getting featured on international cards on DAZN, are going to go into a fight in which they're favorites, in which they're not training? So I mean, you could take that whatever you want it, and if that's the case, play the dog, take Mark Jeffers, but I definitely like Willie Hutchinson in this fight. Will Bonham says, yeah, there's FanDuel and DraftKings in Massachusetts. All right, let me know what your odds are then on the stoppage for Nathaniel Collins. Bum Equipment says, in Massachusetts, DraftKings works, Bet365. Oh, so Bum is in Massachusetts too. So we got some Boston boys in the house tapping in. Guys, wherever you are in the world, make sure you like this video. We're about 20 minutes in. We're floating between 20 and 40 people. We only got 7 of you thumbing it, so hit that thumbs up, boys. And then also join the Discord. If you see the boys on the chat with the blue stars, these guys are members in our private Discord. The link is pinned in the comment section below. It's a couple bucks a month. Fresh BX says the insider information got to be like Sky Nicholson's last fight. Guys, I gave you that insider information on the Sky Nicholson fight because the night before, 2 nights before, I was with Chanel Dargan, an actual fighter, and we were at the fights in Sydney. Chanel is the one who told me that because Chanel was supposed to fight Sky's opponent, the girl from India, and Sky's promotional company. You guys remember the controversy and all of that. The girl from India. She wasn't training. She wanted the bigger payout with Sky. She told Chanel that her dad had died, which was a lie. And I told you to go heavy on Sky Nicholson by stoppage. So yeah, I don't think you guys getting information about Willie Hutchinson not training is akin to Chanel Dargan telling me to my face at a bar that Sky Nicholson was going to win by stoppage. I think that's a little bit different. Careful on that one. Plus, he hasn't fought in like a year. Neither guy has fought in a year, by the way. So neither guy has fought in a year, and both guys are coming off losses, right? Let me double check, because I did this tape 2 weeks ago. This was a members video study by shout out to Mankey Crazy. So I have to double check. I'm pretty sure both guys are coming off L's. Willie Hutchinson, the Hutch train, 18-2, 13 knockouts. Yeah, he lost a split decision to Buatsi last September. But you guys got to remember, man, he's going to be the naturally bigger guy. And Jeffers is coming off a majority decision loss. Guys, this is the same Mark Jeffers we taped against Sean Hemphill. Sean Hemphill was the fighter out of New Orleans, Louisiana, came over as a 5-1 dog in the UK and beat Mark Jeffers in a lower weight class. So, and that was this past June. So take what you want from that fight. The judges had that one 94-96, 93-97, 95-95. So yeah, nobody had it, and those were gifted. A lot of people had Sean Hemphill up a lot, more than just 2 rounds. So if you think that version, the kid who just fought Sean Hemphill in a lower weight class, is good enough to be Willie Hutchinson, then take it. I'm not here to tell you to not take it. Do your own research, do your own work. You know what I'm saying? Careful on that one. Ankalaev, Poatan, who you got? We'll get to that in a second. That's UFC. Willie Hutch's career is on the line. Manny, fade Indian. Guys, without getting, you read Manny's comment. I would rather say Manny says fade any Indian fighter is a money glitch. I mean, you guys know how I feel about the French fighters too. And any Olympian with under 12 pro fights fighting any veteran with over 30 pro fights. We've seen the statistics. Okay, so we got Kyle Hayden. I watched an interview with Hutchinson earlier. He is still a spot. Yeah, Hutchinson, this is the guy. He's coming in as the A-side, boys. Yeah, Muscle Brown, I got a new iPad to stream with. And so without this, it sounds echoey. I just got the mic yesterday. Does the mic sound all right, Muscles? Willie Hutchinson got battered by Buatsi for 12 rounds. I don't see how it's a split decision. And Jeffers moving up in weight too makes me favor Hutchinson. Same. Fresh BX says Nathaniel Collins by stoppage, plus 185. Yeah. So my prop of the week is going to be Collins by stoppage. And I gave you guys my long parlay. Let's see something real quick. Let's do a little bit of a Has anybody taped? Has anybody taped Regan Glacken? What do you guys think about it? No doubt, no doubt. Mike sounds good. It does. All right, cool, man. Bum equipment. If Johnny lets go of that microphone, it's gonna fly all around the. No, no. See, the mic's here. It's just that this doesn't sound good, right? That sounds better. Unless the French dude is named David Pepot. We still ate though. I mean, Liam Perro went life and death with David Pepot. So yeah, I'm talking about Sophian. Do you remember the Sophion fight? But guys, did you guys tape Regan Glacken or Louis O'Doherty? Did anybody tape this fight? And I'm only asking from an odds perspective. You know, it's sitting there at 196, 196. You know, and you know, traditionally I don't like getting baited into betting on fights due to just odds. But when I'm looking at two guys, 196, 196, a 50-50 fight, that tells me I think you know, we should be able to find something in the films tape to tell us who's going to win this fight. Louis Doherty was on Team GB and Regan Glacken has no amateur background. Okay. No amateur background though, you know, it doesn't always, you know, when I hear that, you know, the argument to that, Julius, is Fabio Wardley versus Justice Hooney. Justice Hooney was an Olympian. Fabio Wardley, no amateur background. And we know how that fight went down. So it's not always the case. Did anybody tape them, though, in terms of fight styles, how they go about their business? Muscle Brown says, I taped Doherty as a live dog. So I have the odds right now, Muscles is 50-50. So you're getting Doherty at plus money. Regan Glacken. Okay, let's see here. Regan Glacken. See, these are these British records, these domestic level records. 16-0 with 3 knockouts. What does that tell you? These guys are going to try to win rounds. They're going to point fight. This is an amateur style of fight, and this is why a lot of the Brits, when they go to the world level, they struggle against big punchers and aggressive guys. But you see this a lot with records. 16-0, 3 knockouts. He went pro in 2019, coming off a win in January, a points win. Louis Doherty, 10-0, 2 knockouts. Yeah, guys, I'm seeing the play here is probably a decision. Will the fight go the distance? So I think I'm going to play this. This probably will be my method of victory prop. Will the fight go the distance? It's only $1.28. Not a lot of juice. Damn, they're really trying to bait us into one or the other, aren't they? Who has the better Who has the better resume? So you already said who has the better pedigree? Louis Doherty has the better pedigree. Comes from amateur background. He's a lightweight. Glacken is a lightweight. This fight is taking place at probably 135. It's a 12-rounder. Yeah, fighting at 135. For that BBC British lightweight vacant, or 27-25, both orthodox fighters. A lot of their physical stuff cancels each other out. It just depends what you like. This could go either way. I'd be hesitant betting on this fight, guys. You know about the domestic scene. Yeah, I'm always hesitant betting money on domestic level guys. So I might just stay away from that. $1.28, is that enough juice to bet on for the fight to go the distance? You know, $100 gets you $28 back. Bet the over if you can. I taped it. Doherty's a live dog here. Do you like Alex Arthur Jr.? I think we covered that. I think I got Alex Arthur Jr. That's a feeder fight, man. He's facing a guy at 13-1 dog. I would avoid that fight too. Look, guys, whenever you're getting $4 on a $100 return, why even bet that? You know what I'm saying? Last thing you want to do is, you know, have a 6-leg parlay and the 50-50 fights come through, and then you lose $1.04 when the return wasn't going to get you much anyway. So I mean, this fight's obviously set up for Alex Arthur to win. Look, this is on the Steve Collins Jr. Steve Collins Jr. is fighting. If you didn't know it, Steve Collins Jr. one of the best to ever do it, coming from Ireland, and so his son's fighting. That's going to be a feeder fight, I think. Stevie Collins, my bad. 165, Javier that might be your upset of the week here. Just off jump, Steve Collins Jr. 165, Javier Santana 240. That might be your upset of the week here. Santana coming into the UK because Steve Collins Jr., man, has the last name, but when you watch his tape, this isn't Nathaniel Collins. This is Steve Collins Jr. Bro, I thought Collins won his last fight. He did win. He had surgery afterwards. It wasn't a year ago. Feels like he just fought. My fault. It's only been a few months. In a parlay, yeah, it'll be decent 5 months ago. But I like to stack. Yeah, so Manny, if you like to stack them, do it. Yeah, Manny, do it then. Mar, is your book offering Sandoval Rodrigo? Yeah, keep an eye on that one. Mar the Prince, Sandoval is a big favorite again. He's $1.04. So I'm going to give you the same speed. Because we've gotten burned in the past putting these massive favorites on a parlay. You know what I'm saying? Kane Sandoval's $1.06. And no method of victory yet, but I'll do my due diligence more, and I'll keep an eye on it. Steve Collins Jr. Guys, let's do a quick rundown of this fight. Steve Collins Jr. versus Santana. Collins Jr. 15-5, 2 stoppages. He won on points. We saw him get stopped. Yeah, so he fought a Sydney boy. So there's a good fighter who came up through Bondi Boxing Club with Tony Delvecchio. He now moved to the States to train out of South Florida, Cesar Mateo Tapia. Tapia stopped Collins Jr. in the first round during the pandemic. He also got stopped against Padraig McCrory. I mean, you'd have to question what are sort of his intentions with still hanging around with a record like that. Well, Javier Santana only has 7 pro fights, 3-2-2. I mean, guys, I don't know, man. This fight, it's a 6-rounder. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm probably not going to. This fight is akin to betting on digital horses. You know what I mean? You start betting on Steve Collins Jr. versus Javier Santana. Once again, you're going to start betting on paper, scissors, rocks. You know what I mean? So definitely have some boundaries here. I don't see the risk versus reward being good enough for me to put anything on this Javier Santana fight. So yeah, I'm probably not going to bet that one. Dave Allen thinks Santana will get the upset too. Dave Allen, the White Rhino, preparing for a big fight in 2 weeks against Arslanbek. Have you seen Yandiel Lozano Akendo fight? No, Manny. Yanli Akendo. Oh, dude, he's fighting a guy. Look at these odds. Look at these odds. Do you see that? 40-1 underdog. These guys are 40-1 underdogs. I mean, somebody is going to sprinkle something on these guys. Who are they fighting? These guys are fighting like my corporate clients, it looks like. You got John Joe Kerrigan fighting David Probisky, 40-1 underdog. You got Yandiel Lozano fighting Mario Victorino, 40-1 underdog. Insane. Boxing fan in the house. Boxing fan, I'm trying to get this new mic, but this ain't doing it. I can't be holding this leg. I look like a retard. No offense to anybody out there. Yandio, Alex Arthur, Reese Lynch, and Marcus Sutherland, 10% is free, ain't it? Yandio. Marcus Sutherland. These odds are insane, boys. 20-1. Guys, do you really want to bet on these odds, though? I mean, I guess it's free, but $100 gets you $2 on Marcus Sutherland. Guys, $100 gets you $2 return on Marcus Sutherland. $100 gets you $1 return on Drew Lamond. $100 gets you $4 on Alex Arthur. $100 gets you $1 on Reese Lynch. $100 gets you $1 on Joe Kerrigan. These odds are insane. So maybe these are what, 4-rounders, 6-rounders. I mean, if you want to get a victory, add all those dogs up. Stack it up 10%. 5K gets you 500. Manny R, my man's doing return of investments math, and at the same time, Manny, though, you would be salty to lose the 5K to a 40-1, though. I guess you have your own systems. I'm not telling you what to do. I bet like that, but I'm not betting thousands like that. You know what I'm saying? If I'm going to bet 5,000 on something, it's probably going to be a 50-50 fight or a method of victory. I just can't. It's hard for me to bet $5,000 on 5 fighters with who are like domestic club level guys fighting at like the local YMCA. But I mean, free money, like you said, if you have a history of doing it and a history of winning and you got the receipts, do it. We all have our own systems. Yeah, playa. Okay, so what else do we got? So we are 36 minutes in. Like this video, 5K for 500. Yeah, DJ, me neither, brother. It's just not enough, man. Johnny, do you think Collins gets the stoppage? I do. Nathaniel Collins. I think Nathaniel Collins stops Cristobal Lorente. Manny R. I did 10K in Dan Aziz and Emmanuel Diaz. Damn, bro, you bet 10K to win 1,000. You're a madman. Respect. Manny R out here, a savage. Get your money, boy. I mean, it's a 10% return. You know what I'm saying? You can't 10% return. I mean, if you guys do your research, if you could promise a 10% return on any sort of investment, but it's like, this is gambling. Rambler, you should be more concerned with Collins having a nightmare gut problems. He's going to get punched in the eye. Guys, Rambler, that was old news, mate. He nightmare gut problems. You're talking about a surgery he had, what, 2 years ago? We've already seen him since then. All good?
I don't know what's going on in there. Like, it doesn't seem to be getting worse.
Yeah. So
maybe when they did the bathroom, it's created that damage.
okay.
So that being the case.
So do you think it's just put a board up there?
We will speak to Strata. Like, the only thing we can do is nitrogen test upstairs to see if their pipes
Okay.
are leaking or not. Like, I put toilet paper up there. Looks like it's getting moisture, but it's not getting a direct hit.
Okay.
So whether it's just the steam from showering and things like that, normal use, because
Okay.
you've got an open area up there and it's high, and that's where the moisture is going to sit.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
But
So like I said, I haven't used the tub there, and
Tub doesn't matter.
Months.
It's
Okay.
all what's happening above, and I guess you would know. How long was the timber been
2020.
that way?
How long was what?
The timber being that way.
That way? I can't honestly tell you.
So since the renovation, you reckon?
Not like that. I think I noticed a crack probably. The crack happened. That's probably the last time I really kind of was checking in on it until they did it 2020.
Oh, it's okay. So
Yeah.
it's been that long.
Yeah,
but,
I think
we're
it
talking-
probably is just gradually sort of getting worse.
Yeah, so as it's been exposed to more moisture, so literally you're talking 25 years.
Yeah.
That has been.
Probably just degrading.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll see what happens.
All right, brother. Just tell me.
That sounds good, mate. I was out. I'm like, oh, this is.
Yeah, that's what I do. Be good, brother. Yeah. Yeah. All right, boys. Here we go. Sorry about that. Yeah. So I had I had to have a plumber come and check my shower out. All right, boxing fan Manny, tip your bartender. We got the boys in the house. Brendan, yo, Johnny, Marab, Nathaniel Collins, and Willie 3. Let's do it. I like all 3 of those. Collins looked really good in his last fight 5 months ago. Yeah, man. Look, guys, whatever you got, you know this about me. I'm never one to talk you out of your bet. If anything, you guys talk me out of my bets. Hint, hint, Julius. Julius got me yesterday, boy. Julius talked me out of my my Brandon Glanton bet, but I'm a grown-ass man, so I stand on mine. If anything, you boys talk me out of my bets. I don't talk you out of your bets. I really like Nathaniel Collins. I think he's a good pro. I think he's, is going to fight for world titles. Like I said, I would probably side with Collins versus Angela Leo. I like Angelo Leo. We just watched. I referenced Leo because he's one of these champions at 126. And in my breakdown stats don't lie video, I begged the question to you guys, and I said, moving forward, if Nathaniel Collins comes out victorious, do you guys see him being able to stand toe to toe with any of the current champions? You have Rafa, you have Nick Ball. I mean, Nick Ball. Nathaniel Collins versus Nick Paul. Nick Ball's a good fight. And then you got Fulton, and then like we already said, Leo is the other champion. I mean, if Collins goes out and washes Cristobal Lorente, like I think he's going to do, and looks like the guy we saw against Lee McGregor, I would pick Nathaniel Collins to beat Angelo Leo. And I'm high on Leo. Leo's last fight, he kind of let me down. Maybe Leo had a bad performance, maybe the travel, but he didn't have that spark in his game. You know what I'm saying? There's a certain energy about fighters' games when they're coming up or they're trying to fight for world titles that you have to sort of measure as a bettor and a fight fan who, likes to dissect film and pick winners. There's a certain energy that fighters either showcase or they don't showcase from fight to fight. And I feel like Angelo Leo didn't have that for me in his last fight. And I feel like Nathaniel Collins showed that to me. And I think Collins is trending up. So to kind of, for FX coaching, how I like Nathaniel Collins, I like Hutchinson. I'm probably not going to mess with O'Doherty. And Breakus, bet at your own risk. She's 1,000 years old. But I like that fight too. I do like Breakus. Breakus is in my long parlay. I'm probably not going to bet the O'Doherty fight, mate. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Yo, Johnny Marab. I like Marab to beat Corey. I think Marab beats Corey. Nathaniel Collins and Willie, 3-leg. Let's go, dude. What's that paying, Brendan? Let's do that together. I like that bet a lot, Brendan. You give me Marab money line, Nathaniel Collins money line, and Hutchinson. Let's go. I like it. Do I think Ankalaev beats Poatan? I do. I think Ankalaev does beat Poatan. It's weird listening to all the media around the UFC and how you got these retired professionals, retired MMA guys talking about how Ankalaev is bad for the sport. It's like, dude, shut up. What are you talking about? The MMA was rooted in specialists. You know what I'm saying? Like, the reason why November 11th, 1993 is so significant in fighting is because that was the first time on an international scale we got to see the best boxer, the best wrestler, the best judoku, the best blah, blah, blah. And then we got to see a skinnier kid from Brazil wearing a gi, which we had never seen before, using a martial art at the time that nobody had seen before, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And we realized, like, holy shit, this works in the streets. This works. And then the UFC went through this whole original phase of being a specialist sport. You had to know BJJ to win. And then, somewhere in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, you got to see guys like Matt Hughes and then George St. Pierre, and you needed wrestling as well. You needed to not only know how to defend the submissions, but you had to know how to defend the takedown. And if you couldn't get back up, if you were a black belt in BJJ and you couldn't get off of your back and you had a Roman Greco wrestler on top of you, you weren't going to win because then you were going to get ground and pounded. Specialty, right? Ankalaev, and now this modern day MMA fighter, kids will grow up and join a gym as a 10-year-old. You see this all the time. Think about the first one that I can remember off jump was Rory McDonald entering the UFC, from Canada, came through TriStar, came through Faraz Sahabi, and he entered the UFC, I think as a 20-year-old, well-rounded. He wasn't like a boxer who learned to grapple. He wasn't a grappler who learned how to strike. And this is now where we are in MMA. Mostly every guy is sound in all areas, but still every now and then you'll see specialists. Poatan is a specialist. He's a Muay Thai fighter. You know what I'm saying? And when you look at his striking, really, the thing about Poatan, he just has dynamite in his hands. You know what I'm saying? He throws these really awkward low kicks. He stands right in front of you. He gives you both shoulders and hips, and his punches are really stiff. But the thing is, he has bricks in his hands, lightning bolts. If you want to see how basic of a striker Poatan is, Watch him box and spar Khalil Ko. Khalil Ko beat that ass. Now, granted, they were just boxing, but this is the difference. This is why there's levels in striking. Poatan isn't a high level skilled striker. He's just a big ass, durable dude who has a lot of power in his hands. The reason why I talk about that is Ankalaev already showed how to beat him. You know, in a way, we've watched Poatan get beaten multiple. We watched him get knocked out and stopped a couple different times in a lighter weight class. Granted, he was cutting like 20 kilos to even fight the kid from New Zealand. Not really, as you can tell, I'm not a big fan of. See, in my head, I think, Anderson Silva, who's the kid from New Zealand? Last Stylebender. I'm not a fan of Adesanya. I think Adesanya was kind of a broke version of Anderson Silva. But, Adesanya stopping him showed that, at least in the lighter division, that Poatan was chinny and had durability issues. But I think a lot of that had to do with the weight class, the cutting, the dehydration. And then we saw him get beat how Ankalaev beat him. And I think Ankalaev will do the same thing. So I think that's good money. I think Ankalaev is easy money, to be honest with you. If he boxes smart, and this guy comes from a really smart camp, his game plan is going to be on point. Look, the bloodthirsty casual MMA fan, the bloodthirsty casual boxing fan is going to want Ankalaev to just stand there and trade. Why don't you just trade with him? Why don't you just trade with him? No, dude. The goal is to beat him. The goal is to beat him and keep your belt and move forward. You know what I'm saying? It's not to give the fans what they want. And this is I think Michael Bisping came out and spoke on it. Somebody else, maybe it was, I don't want to say DC. Google it. A really well-respected champion, former champion, UFC Hall of Famer, was speaking about how Ankalaev isn't good for the UFC. It's like, dude, shut up, man. Money Meech. Yeah. FX coaching, my UFC parlay, Marab, Magomedov, Yuri. Dude, don't sleep. Guys, don't sleep on Khalil Roundtree, bro. It is a solid parlay. But, dude, every time I bet against Khalil Roundtree, I get cooked. And we know that, we know. Here's the thing about Yuri Prochazka versus Khalil Roundtree. Yuri Prochazka's X factor is his lack of sort of predictable technique. It's no secret that he's really, really, really unorthodox. It's also no secret that he puts his chin really, really high in the air and kind of serves it to you. And he's been dropped before. He's been stopped before. He puts himself in harm's way, and he's a fan favorite because of that. People love him for that. I'm a fan of Prochazka. But Khalil Roundtree is classically trained in Muay Thai in Thailand. So when you look at his kicks, when you look at his defense, when you look at his guard, his defensive responsibility, when he throws a low kick and he slips, or when he throws his backhand, he got power in his hands, he got power in his legs, he's thick as fuck, he's going to invest in the low kicks, he's going to invest to the body. Khalil Roundtree is a nightmare, dude. So to just think that Yuri Prochazka is going to come out there and just starch Khalil, I don't know, man. Let's see what these odds are saying. You give me Khalil Roundtree at 260. Let's go. What? I like that bet a lot. I like Khalil Roundtree a lot against Prochazka. Because they're going to stand and trade. I like Marab. I like Ankalaev. Josh Emmett at plus 475 against Yusuf Zalal. Now, I know Yusuf Zalal is coming on, and I know he's been on a bit of a win streak. He's dynamic. He's athletic. Emmett, Emmett could crack, man. That's a tough one. Abus Magomedov, a big underdog against Joe Pyfer. Guys, Abus Magomedov was a really, really highly touted prospect for the PFL. He fought in the first ever $1 million tournament in the PFL at middleweight. He was a 5-1 favorite. Shout out to my boy, Lewis Taylor. Put the guns down, Taylor. Lewis Taylor knocked him out in the first, I think, 2 minutes. And Lewis Taylor is a Chicago guy. His nickname was Handguns. and he's basically been Bilal Muhammad, his mentor, his whole career. Lewis Taylor, great guy, and then Magomedov, never really saw his potential in the PFL, and then we know when he came to the UFC, that fight against Sean Strickland, I'm pretty sure the Magomedov was the favorite against Sean Strickland, and we watched him try to be the bully. Then Strickland did what he does, weaponized his cardio, and bullied Magomedov. So Pyfer at $1.40. Pyfer's still green, dude. I mean, I don't know, man. I think those odds are wrong there. Do you think Ankalaev is a better boxer? Pereira pulls straight back and doesn't have. I don't think this fight is going to be. I don't think they're going to be boxing. I think Ankalaev is a much more technically sound MMA fighter. Simon Chua. So 475 is actually 375, not 4. Yeah, that's right, Simon. That's right. FX. Josh beats a lot. Guys, there's some crazy odds in the UFC this weekend. Maybe I'm going to put a little bit more time in this. There's some crazy odds in the UFC. Chris Gutierrez. I mean, Farhad Basharat. We have to remember, Farhad Basharat, these are the Basharat brothers. These are the brothers, I think they're from Afghanistan. And for a while, both Basharat brothers looked unbeatable. They bring that ego into the game. They bring that confidence in the game. But we've seen chinks in their armor. Chris Gutierrez, man, there's some good odds. I'm going to stay away from the ladies. Patchy Mix versus Wicklacz. Punale Soriano versus Varentikov. That's a good fight. Dude, Punale Soriano versus Varentikov is a good fight. Austin Vanderford, a favorite against Ramiz Brahmov. Austin Vanderford is Paige VanZant's, I think, husband. He's literally a one-dimensional wrestler. He's probably in his mid-30s now. He was trying to get in the UFC forever. I know he won his last fight as a big underdog. Now he's a favorite. I don't know, man. I'm going to have to sit with these fights. Guys, I got about 48 hours, so I'm going to post my UFC picks in the Discord. So, Manny, I think Patchy. Yeah, Patchy's good, guys. Patchy should get the dub. Same with the bond. Money Meach, yeah. Similar. Good comparison. Money Meach is on the ball. We're comparing the brothers from Afghanistan. Yeah, the Basharat and the Bonfim. 100%. Do you think AJ versus Ngannou was fixed? He dropped his hand before the knockout. I don't know, Rambler. I don't know. I don't think anybody, Rambler. I don't think any fighter, anybody would ever take a punch just to take it and get knocked. I don't know, man. I don't like to live in the world thinking that a former world champion, Olympian would ever get knocked out just for the bag. I don't want to live in that world. And if I lived in that world, I wouldn't do what I do. So to answer your question, I don't think it was fixed. Simon, I'm shooting for a 3-leg cycle parlay. One fighter to win by decision, one fighter to win by knockout. Sprinkle something, Simon. Let's go. Ankalaev by decision, Patchy by sub. So you think it's going to go 25 minutes? Maybe it could. Patchy by sub, Emmett by knockout. I like it. Look, I don't like getting too. The odds right now, Simon, in the UFC, win or lose, are already real sexy. They're already juicy as hell. You know what I'm saying? You could get Josh Emmett at 430 on the money line. You know what I'm saying? So, like, statistically speaking, Josh Emmett, if he is going to win, he's going to win by knockout. It's what he does. But how salty would you be because you got greedy and Emmett wins by decision, or even like a club and sub, which could happen. I mean, he is a wrestler. He's not. He was a wrestler first. He comes from that alpha male camp, Uriah Faber up in Sacktown, California Love. So, like, the last thing you'd ever want to do, and it sucks, and I'm sure it's happened to everybody here, is that you take the dog wins, but you got too sexy, and you picked a method of victory, and you were wrong, and you lost. So that's kind of like my reasoning when I'm deciding on where to go. And if you do like Josh by knockout, just do it on its own. I mean, that has to be paying, 7-1? Manny, do you think Usman gets it done in his rematch against Paul Hughes? Man, Paul Hughes is good. Usman Nurmagomedov, good fighter. I don't know, man. I'm gonna watch that. That's PFL. That fight could easily be in the UFC. Rambler, there's something not right with the Glackett guy. He looks like a YouTube boxer. I'm not betting that fight, Rambler. Ryan, I don't know if you talked about the fight already. Who do you favor between Cool Boy and Shock? Ryan, I didn't talk about it. I'm going to be featuring that fight. That fight's coming up in a few weeks. I like Shock Foster, man. I'm a fan of Shocky Foster. I feel that I feel he's a better boxer. He's slicker. I think he's more well-rounded. I think he's classier with how he operates in the ring. And but last time I picked against Cool Boy Steph, we saw what he did to our boy Figueroa. Belt the ass. Belt the ass. Come on, Brandon Figueroa. God damn. We spent the last 3 months without having to talk about the Figueroa brothers, and here we are again. Omar Figueroa, Brandon Figueroa. All of a sudden, they get to where they want to go. Great fan followings, and then they all of a sudden change their fight style mid-fight and lose. Fights that they should have. Anyway. I like Shock there. I like Shock. Simon, I put $5. Okay, kid, eat. Uncle I by knockout. It could happen. Emmett by knockout is paying 11-1. Why not? Why not? What's a big upcoming boxing match on top of your head that is hard to call? Norman Jr. versus Devin. Norman Jr. versus Devin is coming up. Joe Parker versus Fabio Wardley is coming up on the top of my head that I'm kind of like, oh shit. How am I going to break this down? So, great question, Bum. And I try to do my best, and you guys know this, to be compartmentalized, to stay kind of switched on week to week. And so sometimes that limits my way of looking too far ahead. So off the top, I think Boots is easy money. Seb versus Keith, boys. Seb versus Keith. Virgil versus Lubin. Dude, we got some good fights coming up. Let's go. So these coming up. So we got Dave Allen versus Arslanbach. We got Boots versus Lima. We got Fraser Clark versus Kiva. Doesn't really excite me. We got Parker, the Parker fight, Oshaki Foster. We got Virgil coming up. Guys, there's some good fights. Buatsi versus Zach Parker. Virgil versus Lubin, though, I can't wait for that fight. Gary Antoine Russell versus Andy Hiroka. Let's go. That fight just got announced, dude. I can't wait for that fight. And people are sleeping on Catterall versus Echo Essuman. Man, we got to start giving these fighters love, man. Hats off to Jack going to Philly. Whatever YouTube content creators are saying that's not a good move, that's a good goddamn move. For a kid like Jack Catterall, Southpaw, who's already seen success, it's a shame. I could talk about how he should have been undisputed. I could talk about the Josh Taylor, the first fight. And, what people like to talk about, though, is, how Jack underperformed against Barboza Jr. or the lack of power Jack has. When you look at how he operates, though, when you look at his style, his skill set as a boxer, his preparedness, and where he's lacking in his game, and you take all of that, and you say, I'm going to take that and go to Philly with Bozy, not to mention all the sparring he's going to get in Philly at that gym. In the smokers, too. Nobody talks about the smokers. Goddamn well Bozy is going to have Jack in some fucking dogfights that nobody's going to talk about. We're not going to hear about. Nobody's going to share on social media. Coming up when I was young, a smoker is, an illegal, non-sanctioned fight. But this is how, as an amateur, I don't know, they have to still happen. But as an amateur, it's a way to see if your boy is really legit. It's a way to see if your boy to stay active. It's a way to get your gym, a little bit more, well-oiled as well. And for Bozy, I guarantee he's going to want to see what sort of Jack has, that dog. And I think Bozy's going to help him bring the dog out. I think Bozy's going to help him sit down on his punches, too. So I like that move. And I like this fight against Echo Usman. And Echo Usman showed me a lot against Josh Taylor, man. So I like that fight as well. I'm just a boxing head. I'm just a nerd, though. I could get stoked. You know what? I'm not stoked about Regan Glacken against O'Doherty, so I'll take what I was about to say back. I find that fight very interesting, hard to call, leaning towards Steph. It is a tough fight. I thought you said you love... We're not doing it today, DJ. Forgot about Fandora and Thurman. Fresh BX October, November boxing. Yes, boys, we're heating up here, baby. We're heating up. DJ, Jack might stop Buddy if he's sitting down on his punches. I think so. I think that's a good move. Tyler, Johnny, you see Lamont versus Cruz? Yeah, Tyler. Guys, if you haven't already, you can follow me on Instagram. On my Instagram story, I share the 24/7 news cycle in our sport. And I'll sprinkle some lifestyle shit of my life, but not on purpose. You know, I got a bird shit on me during a run 2 days ago. I was like, the boys will laugh at this shit. I just got shit on by a bro. I'll share that. But anyway, Pitbull, and that's official now. I shared that on my Instagram. So just add me, say, hey, I'm from YouTube. I'll add you right back. Lamont versus Pitbull. I like that fight. DJ, I found a smoker before. Just, hard sparring session. DJ, you know, Bosey's probably already thinking who he's going to line up for Catterall. I guess if it's called chaos in the ring, that's not a good omen for Marcus Brown. God damn it, Rambler. Ain't that the truth? Tyler, my name, JONNY STOFKO. So, guys, if you're on Instagram, if you're active, it's also a better way because I usually don't pop in the Discord as often as I do pop in Instagram because by trade, I'm a strength and conditioning coach. So I have an online fitness business as well. And a lot of the fitness clients will get a hold of me on my Instagram DMs. And a lot of people on our YouTube channel and in our Discord who follow me on Instagram. It's just, I'm more likely to answer quickly on Instagram than I am any other modality is my point. So just send me a message or add me and say, hey, it's, you know, we're linked up on YouTube and I'll follow you back. So guys, it's an hour in, it's 9 a.m. I got one more client here today. I have my own private gym to where it's invite only. I coach, you guys know this, powerlifting, strength and conditioning, and then boxing. But I have a back squat session in about an hour that I got to get ready for. I got to get something